hear each other. I cannot hear you as much as you can hear me, but that's okay. This is BitShares first edition with me, the Elder Damo. We announced the first podcast for last Monday, but unfortunately I was too busy to do so. And of course nobody was notifying the community or the wider public that it will be changed. So for tonight we have a little bit of special updates. We will have a guest. We have a new soldier or general on the front of BitShares and the rest of the world that I will introduce later. Actually he will introduce himself and just announce him. You can ask anything in hello Robert. I'm happy to see people inside the chat already. That's nice. So we'll be pretty much without any agenda. We'll be pretty much truthful, random, completely, without any previously determined discussions, topics. So you can be free completely to ask anything during the show. It's 30 to 45 minutes, of course, when we are not talking, and we'll be happy to give you a reply, answer. Maybe if you don't know nothing about it, you will just say no, that's it. For the reason of for the beaches and why everything is going so slow, the reason is only one. We are a small team. We are getting smaller every day. We are getting flooded, demolished, depressed, oppressed, whatever you pick, it's happening to us. The worst things. So we went public. For you who haven't seen before, there is a video what happened to BitShares. I was doing a video 3 hours somewhere around there probably, and I explained everything what happened. Voila! 5 days later, half of what I said turned out to be a different kind of a nasty truth. So they've been busy trying to make me insane. I've been busy trying to do my best. I have to shoot out David Moore, our main core developer, Christopher Sanborn, our Python and Dr. Christopher Sanborn, our core developer, Python developer. He has been many things, not just a developer. He has been someone who understood the platform from the beginning. What's the point of what we did last year? And for you who don't know what we did last year, David did 4.0 changes against consensus to remove corruption, aka the Black DAO thingy. And after 5.0, we came to the conclusion that being DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, is just nonsense. That decentralization can be achieved over time because nobody even knows what is it. Nobody can define it in a English dictionary. If you look up decentralized, you can find that that's just multiple departments in one big entity. So this technology is decentralized because the departments that are operating the entire blockchain are called block producers, witnesses. They don't know each other, they don't know their locations, they are completely decentralized, but they've been elected by the very centralized board of members, David Moore and myself. Previously in more than 5 years, now 6, 7 even, BitShares has been milked like nothing before. There was no income to the reserve pool, there was no burn back at the end of the year, there was no nothing. There was no profits. There were only people who want more and more and more and more and more. To put an end to it, there was no option that consensus will do anything about it. There were numerous BSIPs proposals, discussions that double voting with the collateral and few other things, buying vote for money, everything what Daniel Larimer had as a vision, and recently the Kimosabe-san, how I call him, my dear friend, who is active participant of BitShares, he quoted the more equal animals and something about BitShares vision. Daniel Larimer had many visions but never finished even one. BitShares team, eventually EOS, he realized by himself that technology will not change the people, and as long as he giving technology as an option to change the world, he will fail. And that happened 3 times. And he don't have an option. You cannot fight the government and the corruption by being publicly against it. You can adapt to it, learn about it, and then strike from within. Same like I did with my first post on Steam blockchain before I came to the BitShares, when I was calling out Ned Scott. And when I called out Ned Scott, only one person in the comments was understanding what I'm saying, and he said, yeah, you came here to F them up from within. Yes, I did. And I did, eventually. Then I moved to BitShares, seeing their complete insanity in 2017, Ronnie Boyazing, the open ledger, the decentralized exchange that is, in a very centralized sense, holding your assets, support without support, things. I was just shocked. I was shocked in terms of what this technology is and who is running it, because the people who were running this technology were just insane. There was all along since 2017 until this day maybe 20 good people. Now there is less. I have to also give my shout out to Dr. Fabian Schuch, his colleague and my dear friend and colleague Stefan. Light presence, I am Red Bar, aka Brendan Jensen, and Ross Walker, who did the content management for BitShares since 2018, Michael Taggart, Stan Larimer, the whole bunch of people that somehow, with all our disagreements and discrepancies through the time, found the same goal and the same vision, and that was to free BitShares from corruption and milking, and to give it a new chance. So from 2021, now this will be the first time ever that I'm saying that in public, A-Bit More and myself invested quite a bit of sum into the BitShares to become corporate, to become a brand, to go out to the real world and show what you can do. You can still find in many Telegram groups that we are being characterized as enemies of the blockchain, as Trojan horses or whatever. But the truth is inevitable. With the stake lock for voting change, A-Bit More was the only one who did the stake lock of quite significant sum of BTS for a 2-year unlocking period, so undefined time how long that BTS will stay in the blockchain, but the moment when he clicked, do not want to have it anymore in the blockchain, don't want to have any more voting power, he had to wait 2 years to withdraw that money. So he's definitely a serious investor about BitShares. Not to mention that on top of that, he added 100,000 BTS into the forever lock. No way to take it out. I know a lot of groups that are having much more BTS than A-Bit and me together ever had, and they haven't locked even that much that he did. And they had plenty of months before 5.0 happened in September. Unfortunately, they were just busy with trying in a not really proper way to take over the blockchain, to Binance, to this, to that. Eventually, the fork was spawned called New BitShares. Sorry, BitShares, New BitShares. Uh, uh, and that was the end. We started a letter and a case and a file about new bitches because it's trade copyright infringement. I registered trademark with Marco Martinuzzi from Mov Slovenia. We started registration September 2019 because it was obvious that they will never change and that they don't want any good to the details blockchain. While everybody else were believing that they can negotiate with corrupted holders, and that was just a no. So David Moore in the meantime released 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, now he's getting ready to release 6.0. If you ask us where we get the money, we all have a jobs outside BitShares, and our sole decision to invest in BitShares is just our dedication, devotion, and love towards this tech, towards the people that we met and worked with, and towards the possibilities that this technology can have. In the real life, not outside. The the worst part of being part of BitShares is that you will never you'll never be free. One time you go inside, that's it. There is no coming out. Because there is no option to go out. If you go inside, you have to go inside full, 100% of yourself to give in, because you will not be paid entire year. You will mostly be unpaid. You will have to innovate, think for yourself, and learn a lot of things. I believe that BitShares as a technology can be a decision of universities to make it as an option for students, not as a subject, but as entire year to learn just about BitShares technology. It's not something that you can just open a book, learn a few things, and that's it. It's not. And don't expect you can understand BitShares, and don't expect that if you are a noob, you can come just to wallet.bitshares.org and have everything. Yeah, I know how to trade. Yeah, I know how to use exchange. No, it's not an exchange. It's a blockchain with an inbuilt DEX. It's whatever you can think. It can be a dice game, it can be a DEX, it can be a logistics, it can be no limits. The limitation of this technology is limitation of a person that is using it. That's the limit. Now, since we started corporate structure in 2021, and a lot of things happened in the meantime, I realized that nobody was checking emails for more than 5 years, actually never. When they did check the emails, they would be maybe jumping just to investments or on some partnerships or interviews that are in interest of certain individuals or groups, but never anything healthy for the BitShares. I'm getting emails that there was attempts of acquiring a partnership with BitShares in 2018 and 2019, but there was no positive response from our side, and I was quite surprised from who we were getting those requests, and why. I still don't have an answer why, except yeah, there was no interest to the holders themselves. And that was it. So to cut now, and you know in brief what happened for you who never heard. Just one more thing, to all the questions in the chat that are interesting, I I will reply a bit later. So I cannot reply to everyone now. I mean, there are from two people. There is already two very nice questions, very nice suggestions that can be stretched into dozens of minutes or hours of talk, and we have to cover up more things. While I'm live on this stream, first thing what I will do is that I will release the update on the Stake BTS bot and the Stake BTS program that BitShares Management Group started 2 months ago. We successfully did in rewards 2 times 8%, not even in full 2 months because we encountered bug with the bot and quite not correct development on the way. Currently light presence and I am Red Bar are the only two devs that were handling that code. First it was I am Red Bar Brendan Jensen due to his private issues and being busy, not having too much free time to be around BitShares and not getting paid enough. Light Presence took over. I'm Red Bar is, by the way, the student of Light Presence, so we are getting the master now on the code. Quite important part is that last payouts, last rewards for nominators were paid out manually. Why? Because bot was set instead of every 30 days from the stake, from the moment when you enter the stake agreement, he was paying out on every 30 day in a monthly calendar. So that was not good for us because people can come and stake on 29th and get next day 8%, which is not fair to anyone, including the people, other nominators that stake their money. To shortly just reintroduce Stake BTS bot. It's the bot software written in Python that automatically receives stakes between 25,000 and 10 million BTS is option to stake. It has a basic KYC without uploading any document, but you have to provide the details from that document, and in case that you have a problem with us, you will have to provide the original document to prove that you're the one who who made the stake. We are giving 8% in rewards. Everybody thought that it's impossible, but it is. I will be honest, we are not only trading BTS. We are not doing market making on BTS because to do market making we need more than 5 million BTS in a bot. My strategy was never to put in all the money that I have into trading, and that's why I never lost money in trading. My strategy is 30%. So 30%, 30 to 40, maybe 50 tops goes into the trading. 50% always mandatory stay outside of the trading. Why? Because the markets are not free. There are no free markets. We are being manipulated by enemy who holds us as a hostage, and I'm talking holders that's access with more than 1.5 billion BTS in their possession. So if you go outside to trade, million, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million BTS, you can be wrecked instantly if they decide to dump the price. Or if someone from the higher upper levels like Bush Capital and HCM and whoever just make a call and Binance and everybody else throw down the price in a minute. That happened first night when we were doing market making on BitShares, and we had to stop because there was no orders, sales, or volume that will affect the price. There was no BTC trend that was changing, but suddenly we lost the price for 6% in less than 10 minutes. That was just not reasonable. We did the volume in BitShares for the last 60 days about $80,000, which is nothing. We have corporate accounts with BitShares registered as a company, so it's completely legal. We are paying income corporate tax on all the profits, not the profits of the nominators, but the profits of the company, because company also make the profits on top of 8%. The bot is depositing money to the nominator is depositing money to the bot, signing up in a form on the website BitSharesManagement.group. Once we confirm that everything is okay, bot automatically sends 1 BTS and say your stake was confirmed. What happens next? We are currently going for the public IPO. So we are turning limited company into public company in Thailand. We'll be the first public company that is representing the blockchain. All of them are just LLCs. We will do our best to bring the fork of BitShares under the BitShares Management Group in Thailand, to Thailand, and that fork will be used for full operations of the company. So everything what company does, payments, distribution, hiring, salaries will be done through the blockchain. And whoever agency or government or institution comes to check or request a report or finance report or to compare the tax, you'll have a blockchain that in 3 seconds or 2 seconds or 1 second just pick and it's out. Everything black and white, cannot be rigged, immutable, cannot be changed, nothing. That fork will be private because that fork will be first for the company management. Second, we are turning the DEX, inbuilt DEX, into inbuilt DSE, decentralized stock exchange. We will have the new rules on the blockchain on the core level, where the blockchain will not be open 24/7. So the blockchain will be open for the trading. The DSE will be open for trading just during the working hours according to the regulations and rules of the Thai Stock Exchange. We will peg, since we have that ability from inception, we will peg all the stocks to the UIAs. We will replicate everything what happens on a real Thai stock, and we will submit ourselves as a stock, BTSMG, which will be running pre-IPO hopefully by January or February 2022. We planned to do the stock in the pre-IPO, the whole deal this year, but unfortunately I was going through private problems that are related to the BitShares, but I will not talk about them anymore, as advice from 3 lawyers now. Who heard it, who read it, who followed it up, he knows. Who don't, he will not know, and who is not part of BitShares but is knowing about it, it's payback time with a big hashtag in front. And it's not a threat, it's a promise. So I'm DL, you know me all from the BitShares. Who don't know me will meet me over time. I'm nasty. Someone even say that I'm an asshole, but that's because they don't like the truth, and I don't like to have my time wasted if we are talking business. So as long as anyone is interested to do the healthy business with BitShares, brand, blockchain, platform, and a company or a non-profit, this that advertisement, paid content, fork development, investment, irrelevant. If we have a healthy common sense and goals in our head, yeah, we will do business very easy. If we don't have that, 100% you will have problem with me. 100%. And I'm not a problem, but you will have problem with me. The shirt saying exploited is for a reason. I've been exploited this year like never before in my life, and I learned a new lesson. I had experience with corruption even in Serbia. I moved about 8 years ago to Thailand, being naive Serb who thinks that the rest of the world is maybe different, but it's not. And that's it. We are going back to the stake BTS. I'm about to publish the article on news.bitches.org that is giving you an update on what happened, what will happen, and what will be changes on the bot itself. So click on the button, publish. Are you ready to publish? Yes. Post published. So you should be able to see the new post on the news. I think it popped also in Telegram. And I think also it popped on Twitter. Yes, the Twitter is available. Yes, the Telegram is available. So our cross-posting is doing really well. We are posting immediately from news.bitshares to Twitter, Telegram, and Hive. Yeah, Duck has the post. And that's about it. So you can read later the post. I'll post it here also for the viewers of the stream. All the questions later, please be patient. Stake BTS will continue to grow, unfortunately due to so little bit BTS core utility token left to the real holders, to the real, how to say, BitShares loyal people, and a lot of tokens on the wrong and dark side. We in 2 months seen for 8% a month, just 2 million in lock from 2.99 billion supply. That's less than 0.01%. Less than 0.1%. So there is that. Worry nothing. The stake BTS has one rule. We are taking up to 20 million BTS, and when that happens, the stake BTS will stop receiving new stakes, new nominators. It will stop. There is no sense that I'm trading lifetime for you to make profits. That's just, there is no sense. There is sense that we do healthy business. So you get the profits, and we get the company upgraded and moved forward, and a little bit profits for us on top, so everybody win. But continue after that to do the stake BTS is no go. Markets are not free, the volatility will not last forever, and we just cannot continue like that. When we reach 20 million BTS in stake, I will personally delist more than 80% of the exchanges, including Binance, and I'm saying that now in every day, in every show, for one reason: to list us on Coinbase, Bitstamp, Kraken, BitCub, wherever we can, where is legal, approved, where the BTS can be pegged to Revolut card, for example, so someone can trade on Coinbase BTS directly to the pound and send it to his Revolut card, which would be much better use case than on Binance, that is completely illegal, and not anyone can expect to get the money 100% share. While most of you are talking that Binance is the biggest liquidity provider as an exchange, that's wrong. They're into wash trading. You can check the depth on BTS USD pair. You can check the orders that are passing by, and you can look closely. How is that even possible? That exchange that is holding 800 million BTS is trading $4 million, which is a lot of BTS. 160 million, and in the order book on that moment, from lowest ask to from lowest bid to highest ask, you don't have even 20 million BTS, 30 million BTS in total. So how that Binance is doing, probably with a lot of bots, they are showing that they have a lot of volume, but they are not. That's the bots. They are manipulating the price, and that's not good for us. So if we can stay on only 8 to 10 exchanges and move all the liquidity, all that 2 billions back to the DEX, that would be much better because you have lower fees, you hold your money, aka your BTS. There is no the third party that is holding your funds, and you could be having fun again with bit assets. Where you have now more variety than ever before. You have original bit assets, you have bit assets 1.0, and you have honest assets. Honest assets are something that is community driven, and it's doing really good job. Really good job. There is few of key community players from the very beginning in BitShares until the few years ago that are part of that project. I also forget to shout out to Amr Youssef, who is IO banker. You know him as an IO banker. He's the most dedicated, devoted, and most serious finance guy around BitShares that in real life works very, very nasty and very serious job with finance. I cannot disclose what. It's up to him, will he disclose or no. And that's it. When we reach 10 million, we are going to IPO. How we are going to IPO? To become an IPO, to become a public company in Thailand, you need to have minimum 50 million baht, which is nearly 800 something thousand dollars, to be able to go that way. By the Thai laws and regulations, you need to also be operational for 2-3 years and to present the revenue of 200-300 million per year. We found a way through real estate and purchase through Kaifak, the broken Kaifaks. Kaifak is taking a loan with real estate or equity asset property with right to buy back. So during COVID and the entire process of people not having money, a lot of Kaifaks were broken. We have the two sources of Kaifaks where we are buying the properties from 40 to 60% of the market value pre-COVID. Not during COVID, but pre-COVID. And that gives us the advantage of raising a lot of value for the company by paying just 40 to 60% for it. For example, if you want to raise 100 million baht, we just have to buy the properties 40 to 60 million worth of Kaifaks, and that property becomes ours, where the value of the company is market value of those properties that we bought, as they don't have Kaifak anymore on them. We are currently in a process of purchase 4 huge properties. One has a beach on itself. One is the top exclusive business location in downtown Pattaya. Our new office is already purchased. It was rent 4 years now. It's totally our ownership. 3 very exclusive cars. So BMW 5 Series E60. With very special engine, manual gearbox, M5 look. Engine is maybe also M5, but we will see. That I will leave as a surprise. BMW 7 E66, Li Executive Series, full option, one in a kind, top condition on both. Mazda RX-8, double rotary engine, 1.3, 250 horsepower, famous drifter car with a manual gearbox as well, everything original on them. And the fourth is Mitsubishi Evolution 3, turbo packed, original as well, manual gearbox. So we are collecting the things that can with time only grow with the value. We are not buying nothing that will lose the value over time. The land that we are purchasing can be used or sold in the future, can be used as a guarantee for a loan, can be liquidated with a bank. And since BitShares Management Group is a very special company with their objectives, and that you can look up on the news.bitshares.org which one, we are able to do auctions, the NFTs, We are able to do legal, we are able to do logistics, transport of people and goods, import, export, everything by ourselves. We don't need third party in the middle, ever. We found a way with that Kaifax and with that purchase and with my trading that started much before stake, much before stake BTS and even opening a company, to increase the amount of the money and the liquidity that we have, and to reach that 300-400 million baht before the 3-year period. So if we were listening to the holders, we will be still having 1.5 cent price or 2 cent price, but you've seen in April 18 cent, 17 cent, which is now again 4.7, nearly 5, but okay, we are winning against Bitcoin and Ethereum with the price, and we are getting more traction as I'm back online and I'm not having problem anymore with some people trying to destroy me or my family or BitShares itself. No matter how hectic I may sound, no matter how late I can be, I always deliver and do what I say. And all of those people who are talking bad about me, they're the living proof for it. All those people that are unwilling to pay me but to extract my work and my brain for their own benefits are the living proof of it. All the enemies that had really bad intentions but now they're being badly hurt and injured are the living proof of it. All the good people that I helped, saved and nurtured over time, and families that I've given job to, are living proof for it. So yeah, I'm only one person, I have only 10 fingers like each and every one of you, but I do work much more than many of you combined. And that's nothing bad, that's my choice. I'm solo now, me and my wife split. She's not anymore the owner of the BitShares management group. Designer Rachapon Patanasakpaiboon, my 7 years old friend in Thailand, is the major shareholder now in the company. Another lady who was helped with the bank account and registration of initial securities trading in Thailand for the company is her name is Patana. She is the very small shareholder, just 5%. And the guest that will join me in a bit, who is flying from the US to the Thailand this week, together with Ross Walker, who is coming back to Thailand as well, will become new managing director and 10% shareholder of the company, and future whatever company owns. That's someone that I personally don't know how to say thank you, but we became friends. I know him now 20 months, more than 20 months, sorry. We know each other 26 months, but we started working together around 21, 22 months before this day. We are going for the IPO with one reason, only one reason, to peg the original BTS blockchain to the stock. How? You cannot ignore the fact that BitShares technology and the BitShares blockchain and two main guys on the BitShares blockchain launched a for-profit, turned it into a public, registered a stock, and then used the technology to create a stock. That's impossible. So that stock and that pre-IPO condition that we are running to will be sold 25% of 1 million unit of stocks for $75.5 million, which is nothing. Completely nothing. So we are not offering an ICO, we are offering a stock. I've seen ICOs who took 200 million, 7 billion, and they're doing still nothing. Nothing, no use case. BitShares, on the other hand, will have a lot of use cases, as we are doing now a real implementation of the technology in real life, and we are starting from Thailand. Payment system, company management, trading, utilization of less electricity, more solar energy, uh, eco-driven solutions, agriculture in Cambodia. That's all something that people cannot ignore. From that $75.5 million, we will use significant amount of money to buy back the BTS from everywhere. We are buying back BTS now. That's how you get your 8% profits. That's how we earn profits as well. We are only into daily trading. But the point is that we want to buy 1 billion of BTS back, and we want half of it to burn back to the blockchain. That will affect the price. The stock will affect the price. The development and the acceptance of the governments, different jurisdictions, different authorities, different corporations will affect the price of BTS. Partnerships that we are signing now in next few weeks, some even months, will also drive the price of a BTS. So everything what for-profit company does will affect the price of a BTS. For example, we have an offer, actually request, nearly a demand from Pure VPN to create a partnership and maybe to just sell their VPN, maybe to put our logo on their business page right between Sony and SpaceX, or Apple and SpaceX, it's irrelevant, or SpaceX and Samsung. There is only 4 logos there, and they're all big. So Sony, SpaceX, Apple, and Samsung. If BitShares sits in middle or at the end, that's already quite big jump for a BitShares price. And if PureVPN accepts utilizing BTS as a payment utility, that will also affect the price. So we are not allowing anymore to be depressed by our enemies and the people that are dumping BTS so they can pump NBS or Polka or whatever. We are not anymore into diving into their issues and why they are doing so. We already know they're just greedy bastards who will never be enough. If you give them 20 blockchain, they will suck it dry, and they will still not be enough. They will ask for 21st to suck and be dry. So no need to be stressed about it. After this podcast, I have a call to schedule with Circle, who was previously owner of Polonix before Justin Sun acquired it. They are also interested into BitShares team and BitShares progress. And there is quite a bit of things happening that I'm not sharing and I'm not planning to share, because then when the enemy knows what we are doing, they can easily distract us, manipulate us, push more. They have more money, you know. We are not rich. We are hardworking people. And we invested our time, our life, our money, our salaries, our profits into this to happen. And we cannot risk it just so everybody can hear the truth. You know, you can hear the truth, you can get from me always honest answer, but I cannot give the answers that will inevitably destroy everything what I'm building in public. I can do it in private. Some I can do only with NDA, but that's also doable. We are not BBF, we are not hiding any letters. You can see whatever you want. You can check all the information that I'm saying every time when I'm saying it. Everything what I say actually has a proof, or it's backed by facts. I used to go into arguments when I don't know something and I'm convinced that I know, but that was mostly on the blockchain with the people that I don't know, and one of them was a bit more. Guess what, today we are really good friends. I consider him a really good and dear friend, because he saved my life on a few occasions. Even I never met him. So BitShares brings a lot of things that nobody will understand. I'm getting a few more questions that are quite interesting, and I will reply later. To not stretch it more as the time is passing, and it's now already quite a bit, 50 minutes instead of 45, 30. I will introduce you to a new guy. and also dear friend, became friends after 20 months. A person who worked with me on, been my boss, been the general manager of the project. I've been his assistant manager and development manager. Um, that's Kevin Job. He's American. Uh, and let's see what he has to say and who he is a little bit, since I killed you with all the story and discussion, as I missed 1 week of textbook that I had to do. So let's say hello to Kevin. Kevin, you can speak. You can tell them a little bit about yourself. Please introduce yourself, guys. This is Kevin Job. He's flying to Thailand and he'll be working with the BitShares from now on. Guys, just a bit wait. Kevin, I think, has some issues with the sound, so we are unable to hear him. I'll mute myself, trying to help him out about the sound. We had a sound prior to the stream, but we have to fix it now. Just wait a bit.
Testing. Can you hear me? Please confirm. Okay, great. All right. So, yes, thanks, Milos, for the... Okay. All right.
But just a
Thank
second,
you
Kevin is
for.
back. Sorry for the problems. It was problem on my end with the OBS, and yeah, I will take your advices about OBS later. I never did a stream with another person in it, podcast, whatever. So I'm giving now Kevin a word to say a little bit about himself, to introduce himself, and then we'll ask him more.
Thank you, Milos, for that updates and all the news on the recent events, what's going on with the BitShares Management Group. All very exciting. As far as myself, I've been working for the last 2.5 years. I've been managing development on a project that is a private fork of the BitShares blockchain. And through this experience, I met many amazing individuals, and some of those people, of course, a part of this community. And with that said, I need to shout out to you, Digital Lucifer, or simply DL. DL is my assistant manager and manager of development on the blockchain-related portions of the project, and that technology has all been being delivered. He had introduced other members of the community, namely Dr. Christopher Sanborn, who's brought experience and knowledge to help bring the project to life. Also, Michelle Santos, whose professionalism and skills so very appreciated on this project. His implementation of the smart contract is ticked like clockwork, just like the entire platform. And some of the others I know only by their pseudonyms and their reputation. For example, like Light Presence. I look forward to meeting many more of the community members. After, let's see. What did you last hear on me?
Now I can hear you really well. You were testing your microphone, so never mind. I will shoot the next question. So your background, you've been 20 years in IT, 30 years now. You're not so young.
Right. I changed it from 30 years to 3 decades because 30 years, 3 decades sounds like less time. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. Lots of experience with a variety of industries, and always staying, working with my hands-on in a technical role, being the technical lead in a lot of projects, and seeing those projects from idea phase, inception.
Kevin, you have echo again.
Okay, that may be through Telegram.
Mute the Telegram.
Okay. How's this
now it's perfect. That's it.
Okay, great. That was it. All right, so a broad.
Can you please
say again? Different industries.
Say again quickly about your background, how we met, everything. Now there is no echo.
Sure. Well, obviously, you and I have met through the recent project that I've been working on, been managing development on, and that is a private fork of the BitShares blockchain. And I met you and the people you've brought in. I mentioned Dr. Christopher Sanborn, Michelle Santos, both of whose skills invaluable and professionalism invaluable on bringing the project to completion. and the smart contracts implementation, like clicked in like clockwork. So with that said, I've been in the blockchain space for a few years now. Before that, 3 decades of software engineering and development in a variety of industries, including finance, banking, edutainment, ERP, some video network management, and then the most recent few years in blockchain. And all throughout that time, keeping my hands on the technology, being a technical lead on these projects and seeing them from inception and design phases to completion and launch.
That said, I will be just adding that thanks to Kevin, I'm practically thanks to Kevin, even without him knowing that, I managed to pull out to 2019 when the CN vote executed what they executed with the stop of all the workers and so on and so on. I was picking between three jobs, and actually with the private fork that Kevin was talking about, I was rejected by the owner of the project and dismissed as I told him the truth to the face that he didn't like. But Kevin, and just because of where Kevin disappeared, reappeared, and just because of Kevin and his intuition and experience, I was hired as he paid me at he let's say that he decided to go over the stupidity of the owner and by himself just do what I requested to start working with me. It took us a few months to know each other. It took him more than a few months to understand why I'm an asshole and why I don't have the long fuse for people that are wasting time on the project and the resources. But in the end, we became a team that I would not be replacing him for anyone when it comes to the management, the real management of the blockchain projects, as he has what I don't have in terms of patience. It is a virtue when it comes to the developers. Experience in banking and finance that I never had. Experience in funds management, not in trading, but in real funds management. Experience in different variety of programming languages, and even in that age he adapted quite well and he learned quite a lot about the BitShares tech, the API calls, the JS, many things that he never touched before as a US guy in IT industry, as they are mostly focused on Microsoft. Kevin, please continue and tell what's next. Okay, we've been on a project together, now we are not anymore on that project. I mean, soon, pretty soon we will not be on it.
Yeah. We're on the final deliveries phase of that project, and everybody's excited about that. And moving forward, I mean, that was there's still plenty to do, but there's plenty of capable hands to do it, and helping them through a service level agreement, I think, is the right approach for finishing that and continuing on. Anyways, what's happening with the BitShares management group is obviously a very exciting opportunity, very exciting things happening. It's one of the things that got me interested in blockchain technology in the beginning was, obviously I heard about Bitcoin, and that kind of was like the entry interest. But then after, finding out more about the potential and operating businesses, the potential for, like decentralizing all these large corporations that have profits as their primary motive and putting the power back into people is kind of one of the underlying ideas that like brought me into the space in general, I guess. So I'm very excited about being part of this BitShares management group and the things that we'll be doing, and I think it's in the right place at the right time, and hitting these projects that we've got on the agenda, the BitShares blockchain, the hitting the stock exchange with digital ledger technology, agriculture, et cetera. The things that you mentioned already, all very exciting, and I think we're at the right place at the right time.
Thanks to mention that again, because the problem with most of the people is that they're stuck into crypto. They believe that crypto is being used by hundreds of millions of people, while not even a few millions are crypto friendly or aware of what is crypto, while the governments, banks, and corporate conglomerates are already busy with spawning the tokens. China is already using digital yuan based on a blockchain. They can print now whatever they want. Europe is next. US will be the last one. That's because of the politics and the influence of China since 12 years ago to make it happen and to make US ban crypto, consider it unfriendly. But as we can see, even Senate is few days ago discussing about what is cryptocurrency and why do they need it. Yeah, you need it, and you will ask for it more. What we want to bring into the BitShares is the people that will not just be there for the profits, people that will not be there just for show. So Kevin, after 30 months of working on a private fork and experiencing both scammers, both authentic individuals such as Sanborn, Santos, Light Presence, Alexander from Serbia, and a few others. It was not a hard decision to offer him a job. And as he will be the managing director, Kun Ratchapon, nickname Youth, he'll be a CEO and still majority shareholder. Ross Walker is coming as operations director. He will be still managing the content, not in the terms that he's managing now, but as a part of operations. In all of that beautiful office, we will have something that you can see underneath in the logos is BitShares Holdings. That still even Kevin don't know what is it, or Ross or anyone. That will be the part of the real estates that will just be done on the blockchain itself. That will be same like the agency: acquire, renovate, invest, sell, acquire, renovate, invest, sell, acquire, liquidate, reinvest, acquire, sell. The different possibilities. It will be registered as well in Thailand as a subsidiary of BitShares Management Group, and it will also have a foreigner. His name I will not disclose for now. He's in real estate for more than 20 years in Thailand. He concluded in the last 3 years more than 150 million in loans, debts, Kaifax, and any other means to acquire or liquidate a property successfully. So we are bringing a team of people that will go just to we don't want to stop, and the more there is of us here, the more easy we will do everything, because the 2 guys or 3 guys or 5 people cannot just do that. We cannot do that in decentralized way. It was a nice idea, it was a nice vision, it was a nice dream, but here Kevin can confirm how hard it is to do 50 interview and find 0 people for a decentralized job. You can say, Kevin, you did the interviews. How hard or how easy is to find people? Muted.
Howard, yeah, thanks yeah, it's very difficult to find skilled people with, I mean, people with the blockchain experience skills. It's very difficult to find. And is it this the time where we ask people to submit their information if they're interested in joining? Anyways, yes, it can be very challenging to find skilled help in with these specific skills.
The biggest problem was to find people that are reliable, that will do something on time, and even if they will not do something on time, to just come and say, I cannot do it on time. Because the manager job is to manage not just the people, but the time or the product or the service that they deliver, they have to deliver. And just being honest and just being straightforward as a team between itself, you can deliver anything. You can even be late. You can even change the agreement. You can do a lot of things if you have advantage of knowing what's going on at the moment when you need to know, not at the last minute when everything is going to hell, literally. So we've been through hell and back numerous times in last, him more than 30 months, me more than 20 months, to earn the bread and butter that was building BitShares behind the scenes, together with David Moore and a few others. Uh, no, I will answer this question quickly to the Ahnamus. Kevin doesn't have a Twitter. He will come on Twitter and you will be able to follow him. He created a Hive account as well today, and he will be busy with, as a managing director, of managing the company and the BitShares in right way. I would also like to say something that was not supposed to be part of this now 1 hour and 10 plus minutes uh, show, but we are going to push 3 workers on the blockchain. And to reduce the FUD that will come, and I know it will come, first worker will be legal representative. That will be again Zavod Premik from Slovenia, known as a MOV Institute, registered name in English. Representative Marko Martinuzzi, my very dear and close friend, the closest one I have. For free. If there is a problem, we'll be funding it as a for-profit. MOV Institute is a non-profit in Slovenia, 12 years old. They have court experience, they have corruption experience, they have ethics and morals in place, the people that I love the most. And they've been there when nobody else was. They believed when nobody was thinking to even look that way, not to believe. And they did what was undoable by some. So the trademark is only done thanks to them. The BitShares.org being not affected by any regulator or any agency in the world is also thanks to them, not thanks to BBF. That's one worker. So we are appointing again on the blockchain through consensus with the only guy who has the power of the vote a bit more, a legal representative, MOV Institute. The worker takes 1 BTS for next whatever, and every BTS that the worker receives will be given back to the reserve pool. So the worker is completely free. We are not milking the reserve pool. We will not milk the reserve pool, and we will not have any plans to do something like that. Second worker will be that BitShares Management Group is becoming official manager of the blockchain. Why? Because we have to non-profit as a legal representative is just a help desk for legal inquiries, for legal problems, and also the team of lawyers and legal representatives that will go and defend BitShares blockchain if it ever comes to it that it needs to defend itself. It's also the legal entry and the legal protection for each and every one of us who are part of that BitShares blockchain, including the user base of the blockchain. Blockchain is staying the permissionless, no KYC, no nothing, so we are not centralizing the blockchain. We never centralize the blockchain. We increase the rules on the blockchain, so only few people locked and respected that rules and continue to vote. So second worker will be the management group as an official manager of the blockchain, and third worker will be very simple. My name and my ID and myself will be listed as an owner of the blockchain. Why? Not because I'm owner of the blockchain, it's permissionless, but because in a real life you don't have no man's land. You don't have land without owner, you don't have car that doesn't have an owner, you don't have a laptop that doesn't have an owner, everything has an ownership and its owner. NFTs are having, for God's sake, an owner. And the whole idea about NFTs is ownership on a UEA, on an asset, on a token, so someone can prove that he is owner of that. So that's about it. 3 workers are coming up. They will be set for 10 years to last, because they don't want, if someone comes and remove the worker, that's okay. If you do something wrong, we will be removed, that's okay. We are not taking money from the blockchain, so I don't know why anyone is complaining. We are taking full responsibility, and we are truly are devoting ourselves to the cause and to the goal of making BitShares great as it should be. Because looking at Ethereum to have a price of $2,500 per token, with all that nonsense they've been through, and now switch from POS to DPOS, is making me puke and shit myself instantly. I'm sorry for my language, but that's the reality. So my stomach is turning upside down looking at it, and we are worth not even 5 cents. That cannot last forever. And it will last forever if we stay in the crypto community only, because crypto community has no intentions to help us to grow. The partnerships that we are getting some are expensive, some are profitable. They couldn't happen without a for-profit that is willing to dive into them. Kevin's job will mostly be negotiating and managing all of those partnerships, as I will just take the responsibility as an owner, not involve myself too much. My English is much worse than his. He's a native. He's native. He's from US. I'm Serb. My English and his English cannot compare. My age and his age cannot compare experience as well. So we need we need many people like Kevin Job that are honest, that are real, that are experienced, that are ready to be sweaty and bloody and to deliver no matter what, because they know what they are doing it for, and it's not only money. Ross Walker, Kevin Job, a bit more, myself, Sanborn, I'm Red Bar, Light Presence, a lot of people around development, Amar Josef, XBTS. We haven't earned money from BitShares for a long time. Last money that David and me earned with few other core devs was 2010, when we had the core payload worker, and that was it, never again. Another thing that will happen, since we increased the reserve pool and blockchain made a lot of profits, even with less activity, with less users but more activity than before, with 2 global settlements on the assets, committee account with some good strategies collected quite significant amount of BTS. Without further ado, we will use 10 to 12 million of those assets, BTS, for market making as a company that will be locked into the stake bot, and that 10 to 12 million will be creating 8% profit that will go back to the reserve pool once we are done with it. Because waiting 2 months to have 2 million BTS on 8% giveaway for free is just insane and nonsense, and we will not become hype or move anywhere for quite a bit. We had offer for numerous investments. One of them was quite significant, and I don't want to even talk what was the amount. We said no. because we are not selling ourselves. We want to stay independent, we want to stay permissionless, and we want to stay free. We want to promote free, we want to promote freedom, abundance, peace, love, and not to be part of something corrupted, broken, and twisted, what currently crypto offers and what currently you can see in crypto. To stay independent, that means we have to make all the money by ourselves. We are not rich, we are not investors, we are hardworking people. A bit more is the core developer of not one but few graphene blockchains. But he is the maximalist in BitShares. He works full-time in BitShares. He's releasing 6.0 with flash loans very soon in BitShares. And that's it. We are not taking anything that is not ours. We haven't taken even a single BTS when we did all the changes against the consensus, with the consensus that are happening now. Nobody was damaged for any money. We were damaged for a lot of cash. And we will not stop. They have to, Abit is not front, Kevin is not, so Kevin will be just introduced to the public and to the real world about who he is. But if they want to stop BitShares and the progress of what we are doing, I said that numerous times in Telegram, on Twitter and the rest, you have to put bullet in my head. So nothing else can stop us from doing what we are doing now. There is no way that you will ever in your life stop me from making this just being placed where it deserves. And it's technology ahead of its time. It's innovations that the world haven't seen yet. And it has to see it before someone else just copy it, use billion and turn it into a craziness that nobody will use for anything except for the corruption. Governance will be back as it was before once we have more healthy investors and once we have actually the liquidity in the reserve pool, the supply that is available to fund workers, that is available to fund witnesses, that is available to fund the progress. And if we see that we don't need that and that the for-profit will be creating that, then we will just fund the reserve pools. One thing that I want to announce, and that Kevin even don't know, and he's coming to do it, to work as a managing director, we are launching the quite few products that were not announced properly, and 3 forks of BitShares under the BitShares brand and under the BitShares management group as a subsidiary companies and as sub-brands of BitShares. Why? Because that's the only way how we will increase the value of the BitShares, and that's the only way how we will create money and cash flow that is not coming from trading and that is not coming from BitShares where we have 2 billion, 1.5 billion of tokens, maybe even more, held as a hostage. You cannot create cash flow from the money that nobody wants to give you, and you cannot buy the token. Binance will be the worst to the list, but we have a solution even for that. If they decide to go in a legal way, that will be the problem. The entire legal charade about Binance now in Indonesia, in England, in Thailand, it started from Thailand, was starting from me. So there is that. And that was just to prove all those people in DEX who are telling me that I'm insane, just to prove them that Binance was never a regulated exchange. Binance never had intention of doing a clean work, and Binance was never meaning business for anyone. Binance was just meaning profits for themselves, untaxed profits, free money that nobody will look because they have the power of God knows who to support them. So I'll be answering a few questions and maybe even asking Kevin to answer to some of them, but we'll see. Alhamus, first question. Okay, hello everyone. First question, first statement. I think DBTS will be more beneficial to BTS. DBTS is a decelerated BitShares the token has been issued and verified on Ethereum blockchain, on Etherscan. Currently, there is 20,000 DBTS issued only for testing, and there is a counter peg on the BitShares blockchain that holds also 20,000 BTS. We are building a gateway, Ethereum gateway for the ERC20 tokens that will be the swap, the DBTS markets, and it will maintain a peg ratio 1:1 between BTS and DBTS. We don't plan to list DBTS on any exchange except on the Ethereum blockchain swaps and exchanges, which are Uniswap, all the exchanges that they are calling DEXs, and where you can only trade with a MetaMask, and that's it. So our whole idea is to not promote DBTS as a new currency. Our idea is to promote BTS through DBTS as a currency on Ethereum side, because they collected much bigger user base than we have, and they have much more currently to offer in terms of people that are willing to participate in crypto than we have. And to actually take the people without stealing the people, take that user base, we have to introduce them to the DBTS. DBTS will be listed on Uniswap. We will be busy changing and swapping DBTS against Tether, against Ethereum, against OMG. And people who end up with the DBTS, they will not be able to trade it on Binance or any other CEX. They will have to go back to DBTS markets to create a BitShares blockchain account, which is free, and it's a named account, and to do the swap that lasts less than 3 seconds. And then they will have to enter the wallet.bitshares.org or XBTS or iBanker, whoever, and to explore that 3-second, very low fees and all that interesting things that Ethereum users know nothing about. They don't even know that BitShares is a blockchain. They think BitShares is an exchange. So I believe that we are doing something good. I believe that we are doing something correct. I believe that we are bringing the justice on the injustice that happened to us many years ago when Vitalik picked up our main investor and started Ethereum Foundation. That's Mr. Boshen, that everybody knows about, who are long time in crypto. And that was the end of us and beginning of them. We were left with Xiao Liu, the Jerry Liu, BitCrab, aka BitCrab, however you know it, to manage the blockchain, to manage the most of the funds, and to never let us grow. So we were never meant to be anything. We were constantly driven into oblivion by our own users, holders, how they call themselves investors, but I don't know how someone is investor by buying a token and holding the token that is utility token and should be not held, should be used. But that's another thing to discuss. So we ended up holding 3 billion of tokens instead of using them, while the biggest liquidity provider is having in order books just 30 million BTS. And then next time when someone tells me that Binance is our only chance to survive, he will get banned, kicked, or removed from BitShares instantly. You are free to use the blockchain. You're not free to have stupid opinions around that are backed by nothing and they're just your belief, while we have a proof, a fact, and an evidence while we are saying something or while we are doing something. So DBTS will be an entry to Ethereum blockchain. Why? How it happened? Amar Joseph last year numerous times go to Uniswap and say, can we list BTS? No. Can we list BTS? No. Can we list BTS? No, you are not an Ethereum token. Okay. Guess what? Decelerated means slowed. Very slowed. Slowed, super slow. So from 3 seconds to whatever Ethereum will be now in the future, from fee less than a 10 cent to $20 to $200 per swap, I think that it will be easy choice for the user base where they will stay. We will wait them with quite nice surprise options, HTLC, but many things they never seen on Ethereum, and they will never see it on Ethereum. because it doesn't have an inbuilt DEX, it doesn't have a digital stock exchange, it doesn't have fork of itself that is useful, it has just a token factory where you have to code something, to pay developer, to never be secured with the code that you did. While on BitShares you have a mint factory where you come pick, do you want collateralized token or a normal UA, you pick the values, you decide what are the functionalities, you click, and it's created. For a fee, of course, but it's not that on Ethereum is free. That's regarding the DBTS. The progress on DBTS is currently prioritized. It will be done before the NFTs. We are waiting for the gateway to be done this month, and we are launching DBTS markets. DBTS website is nearly done, dbts.network. There is 2 pages to be done, and then the website can go live. There is always transparent accountability where you can check on both sides any moment that we are having that what we own. There is only option where we have us to manage, to be the swap, and to be the one who is issuing and purchasing more BTS, how we can have more DBTS. So if a person wants to see more DBTS, that person will have to go and buy BTS. Otherwise, it will not be possible to have it. So the whole thing about not listing DBTS anywhere else is it has a goal. It has something in it, and it's not just me hating its access. It's me being smart and not allowing its access to take another token and its supply and put us to oblivion again. The most important part, DBTS will be also listed on CoinMarketCap, and for the difference from Wrapped Bitcoin and the rest of the shit I did, it will have a peg 1-to-1, as we invented peg, how they call it, and it's called market peg assets on BitShares MPA. So they cannot fight against what's coming, and they cannot stop us from what we are doing. That's the most important part of our work now, to push what's unstoppable, and that's BitShares technology in its best, with people like Kevin, Ross, Abit, Sanborn, whoever wants to join, Joseph, Brendan, Light Presence, whoever wants to stay anonymous, he can stay anonymous. We respect anonymity, we respect people, we respect humanity. We are not just selling humanity as a pitch, and we are not just saying something that we'll do, we are actually doing that, and then we come and say, hello, we did this. That's the advantage that we have. The next question would be when we can see updated DEX UI. Wallet.bitches.org is unmaintained since 2019 and since the problem that the CN Vote and the rest of the groups and holders created. Stefan and Fabian are definitely not the guys who can work for free. They never had a job on a side. They haven't got paid out by the BBF, and they haven't been rich as everybody think they are. They've been just people like me, Kevin, and anyone else, and they've been working for the salary. They have families, kids. They cannot come and say tomorrow to their wives and kids, yeah, I don't have nothing to put on the table, but I work every day in BitShares. So we started the collaboration with 2 of them as a for-profit. We got the first 2 invoices on the table. Tomorrow they will be cleared and processed through wire transfer. It will be a first hire that was paid within the due date, that was done within the ETA that they promised, and there will be no FUD ever again between the people that are currently staying, developing, and nurturing BitShares to become big. So we have the top of the top when it comes to the development. I'm personally making sure that the cash flow keeps going and the money keeps coming, so they can stay around and never again be placed on a side or forgotten for a payment. Same as some of other people been through everybody been in BitShares unpaid or treated unfair by the holders by consensus in the past. And they know what I'm talking about. To go back to DEX, DEX will not be updated for some significant changes for at least 2 more months. When I say DEX, I mean wallet.bitshares.org. There will be one change after Stefan comes back from holiday. He'll be on holiday from this Saturday, 2 weeks, and after that holiday we will discuss in details what is a mandatory update for wallet to be a little bit more smooth and nice. There is a private DEX that will be launched as a BitShares X. We are getting full support from currency.com and capital.com who are located in Gibraltar. Possibly Kevin or Ross or both of them will fly to Gibraltar after the COVID drama stops to start the process of registering another company. BitShares X will be the DEX based on community UI with our own private for-profit gateways, not much, 8 to 12 pairs, regulated across all jurisdictions because, as you know, we registered in Wyoming, which is US, we registered in Cambodia, we registered in Thailand, we're registering in Serbia, we will register Gibraltar, we will register Middle East, probably Dubai, and we will enter Africa and Australian markets when the time comes, not now. When that's all done, we will be fully regulated exchange that can offer anyone and everyone to trade not just tokens, but naturals, natural resources, precious metals, bonds, stocks, and many more. That being done on a blockchain is much more interesting than just having a bunch of people who are registering audio tokens and scamming other people for their BTS or dollar. Collateralized assets, one of them that was issued this year, will possibly become a stable currency in Southeast Asia, backed by the government, and it's all happening from the BitShares blockchain. So there is a lot of things that you don't know, but the DEX is not a priority for us. The DEX is an exchange where we currently don't have liquidity. And to start a private DEX, we need to invest $10 or $20 million into liquidity of the gateways itself. That has to be transparent. And we are not asking for any investor because that would be the end for us. So we have to create the value, we have to create the revenue, and we have to create a brand that will be unstoppable to run an exchange worldwide, accessible to everyone. We have to have field gateways, so we are not taking your Bitcoin to trade it, but when you deposit Bitcoin to our gateway, in that gateway is already sitting 200 or 300 Bitcoin, and you have nothing to worry about. You get issued UIA, you have transparent wallet code storage on the website, you have a beautiful responsive DEX that is based on community UI. Everybody thought abandoned project. It's available on BitShares GitHub organization. And that's it. We plan to do everything better than the previous people did. For example, OpenLedger, CryptoBridge, BitSpark, they all took your money, yeah? And they were all promising they're not taking your money. And they all said you are owner of your money. And they all said it's decentralized exchange and that everything will be okay. Guess what? They took the money, they went away, and you didn't got it back, and it wasn't your money. So us saying, yeah, we are managing your funds, yes, we are depositing your money into our gateway, and you're getting issued asset that is a peg to it and worth the same as it. And we are a legal company that went through 4 or 6 different SECs to apply for the 4 to 6 different licenses in 4 to 6 different jurisdictions. Cost a lot of money, time, and people to do it. So no, we just didn't spawn some exchange, some website, put a logo there and said, yeah, we are the exchange. Come and trade with us. Your money is safe because it's on the blockchain. No, it's not. You have to, it's not just about trust, it's about logic, sense, and how professional you are and how actually you know to manage a business. when we mention the DEX, Open Ledger action letter and petition will start soon. I'm acquiring today BitShares.legal from Fabian and Stefan, including the BitShares.foundation domain, which I will give to pass to Mov Institute and build a real foundation from it. And we'll be busy with taking down the people that are still walking around free and they damage you for a couple millions of dollars over the past few years. And we start from Ronnie. So all of you who lost money with Ronnie and you're willing to sign a petition to give POA to the lawyer, power of attorney, to represent you on the court and to claim your funds back, you are free to join the group on Telegram, Open Ledger Scams, or to PM me or to talk even with Kevin. I will share his handle later and he will have Twitter from probably tomorrow. So next question. How can BTS-MG affect the price of BTS? I already said. IM Red Bar decided that it was not his decision. He was forced into more work in real life, less time in crypto world, BitShares to be more specific, and he will not be developing anymore, not NFTs, not pool tool, not stake BTS. In 1 week, we will take over the ownership of the Telegram groups. Me or Abit or whoever, it's irrelevant. We did already forked pool tool. We did already fork the stake BTS. We did already fork the NFTs from B20 group. And we will be developing it furthermore, maybe even with more progress, because we will make a deal with all the Python developers that we have around to help us to continue growth of that very, very, very important tools. I'm personally depressed when I first time heard what he's saying and that he's going, but on the other hand, I wish him good luck. I wish good luck to Brendan Jensen with all the knowledge that he gained by staying around here. I know he haven't earned much money, but he was paid as much as I personally put from my own pocket. And I'm sorry that people don't understand that this is not, that because we have a company doesn't mean we can throw away funds, that because we have amount of BTS that is locked by nominators, it doesn't mean I will spend it for something private or for the development. That BTS is meant to go to trade for profits or to go to purchase property that can be liquidated for profits. So it was never meant from any of us to spend your time or your money for nothing or for self-interest. It was always meant for BitShares to grow. And while I'm reducing physically and mentally and shrinking like nothing, the BitShares is growing. So that's also a fact and a visible evidence of me saying the truth, plus all the paperwork that we have on the side. Hello from Norway, hello from Canada, Nigeria, Bulgaria. I'm happy to see that there is interest into the BitShares. I'm happy to see that there is only 9 viewers at this moment. That tells you how much people know about BitShares. Even I have 990 followers, and news.bitshares.org have 6,500 organic followers. And this can be shared in private.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then 9 live views in this moment is depressing. So US is awake and nobody's watching in the US, and that's just like, wow. But we don't care. We don't need people who will look. We don't need people who will...
Not bad for an unannounced podcast.
Yes, true. The podcast was announced for last Monday, but here Poland as well.
Oh, the time. Yeah.
So the time is wrong. We should be starting 9 p.m., 9 a.m. your time, 10 p.m. Beijing time. We started late but I was setting up the podcast, I was setting up the microphone, I was being busy with Kevin is moving to Thailand, Ross is moving to Thailand, and we are busy with a lot of stuff. 3 workers are going on chain, more trading is going inside because I want to close the stake bot. I don't want to wait year to have 20 million BTS so we can become an IPO. Ethereum will already rip us off in the meantime. Great lineup from BitShares going forward. Any other job opportunities and how does one apply? We acquired 44 domains, BitShares branded domains, that will all be registered and protected by the trademark of the MOL Institute Slovenia. And one of them is the job board website that will not be at the beginning run on the blockchain. It will be just a VP CMS website, very professional though. And we'll be listing jobs in BitShares and any other area or cryptocurrency or a project that wants to come and find capable people. So there will be jobs soon. There will be openings, and if you have a skill or you want to contribute, you can do it even now through GitHub, but it's not paid. Some of it is paid, some of it isn't. Goodwill is important. And the most important part is that when the jobs do have an opening, and BitShares Management Group will have plenty, we will need the people that are willing to give their identity, sign the full-time agreement like Kevin did, Ross did, Ratchapol did, and everybody else. We are not anymore into full-time people that we don't know face from, that we cannot find, that we cannot call anytime we want. We are not anymore into promises that we cannot deliver, and we are not anymore into something that is not stable. We are doing slow, small, and stable, which means that we are collecting the right people in the right place, in the right time, to do the right thing. And that's not an easy job, especially not in 21st century with half of the planet being brainwashed by social media and the other media and the governments and stuff. So, are there any plans to make some Ethereum LP tokens available in BitShares? Yes, once the private DEX is being launched, there will be OMG, Omise Go, that's a very popular Thai token. And there will be USDT, there will be, we have a plan. A lot of them from Uniswap, especially because Uniswap showed that there is an interest on their side to trade those tokens, and I believe that seeing those tokens on a 3-second blockchain with low fees on trading, not on swapping, will be even more interesting to them. So, very good question. Yeah, that will definitely happen. How can BTSMG answered already? Any plans to accumulate BTS? Yes, we are doing repurchase of BTS. We are not accumulating now because we are paying 8% to the nominators. There is maybe 4%, 3-4% left on top of it. In one moment, there was a 20% peak in a single trading day, and I was not trading BTS. I was trading competitors' token. But yeah, we are planning to buy back 1 billion BTS supply and burn half of it back to the reserve pool. Don't you feel the lack of future plans visible as the worker proposal system is bad for community involvement? We don't want community involvement. I don't need community involvement to do the work that they don't know nothing about. I don't need developers that they will charge $150 per hour a blockchain on the token price of 2 cents, because you know how many is that tokens per hour? Do you think that blockchain shits the tokens out for like normal, regular, daily basis? No, it doesn't. From 3.6 billion supply, there is only less than 600 million left. And it would be even less if they haven't stopped the worker system and haven't reduced the witness salary to what is it now. And guess what? 21 Witness is still paying for the servers, still taking that very low income that is worth just $100 or something a month, and they are doing the job without any delusion that they need more. So worker system was something that can be used, and it will be used on a fork of BitShares in BTSMG group, and it will be called projects. So when the BTSMG group for-profit company wants to do a project with another real life for-profit company, all profits will be used to buy BTS token and bring it back to the reserve pool. And if you want to do work, you can come to the BTSMG group and apply for a project, sign the agreement, take the responsibility for your work, show us your CV, and be responsible when you're doing something, not just come and go. A great example for BitShares and the private fork where Kevin and me were employed and met each other was Rostislav Gogolauri. He was hired on that project. He was on 3 workers where I fired him. I fired the person from 3 workers because he can show a lot and do very little bit. He can present a lot, but very little bit is working and functional from it. And he can charge a lot, even his price per hour is very low compared to others. And he has a team of people that he can bring to you, and you can pay him, end up paying him for 6 months or a year, and you will have nothing left. So no, worker systems until we have a structure, a brand, and people that really appreciate and respect the consensus in the blockchain will not be re-established, and of course until the BitShares reserve pool is not being healthy again, which means more than 1.5 billion BTS in the reserve pool. Can you really get Ronnie? I'm sorry to be again asshole, but maybe a few of you remember I wrote a technical review about OpenLedger in the very own early days when I joined BitShares 2017. It's on Steam still, even on Hive you can look it up. And I gave him a description of his own exchange. The website, the domain, everything was in the technical review, and I said that the DNS and the domain is not really secured, it's not even looking as a valid one. 1 year later, his domain was hacked, hijacked, and you lost your funds. I wasn't one who was hacking him. I was one who is giving him advice how to save his business and how to improve his security. Where is Ronnie now? Gone. Why? Because he was never more than just a scammer. Where is Crypto Bridge? Where is BBF? What happened to BitShares? And who is standing after 4 years still here to talk? The guy that was not being welcomed or accepted, and that's me, DL. So not just that I will get Ronnie, I'm not getting anyone personally, but I will make sure that Ronnie lose everything what he has, because nothing he earned in life, never worked a day in last 4 years, and you remember the obits, you remember everything. And next will be George Bitspark, who is still active on Twitter and still talking a lot, but he did the same with Zeph, both with the companies that are nothing to do with exchanges, nothing to do with remittance, nothing to be legal, but they used the advantage of knowing that BitShares will never be revealed to the real world and to the authorities because of some stronger players on BitShares who are also removed now, at least from their power, if not from their tokens. So yeah, we will be getting Ronnie, then it will be George Bitspark, then it will be every other person that damaged this blockchain, this community, and these people, make us lose such great user base of people, or I will die. That's it. So now I'm publicly giving statement that yes, I will make sure that each and every corruption idiot who was messing around here and having a business and stealing money from all of you, including myself, will be put down as a dog in a legal terms where he belongs to be placed. Is it a jail? Is it a whatever? That it will happen. It will take time. It will take money, but it will happen. We are not giving up ever on the good calls and the right reasons. And remember one thing: uh, goal always justify the means. In Buddhism, they say if you had a bad intention, it cannot be forgiven. If you had a good intention and you did something wrong by accident, it's forgiven already. And if you have good intention, God and Buddha and everybody will protect you. And if they don't protect you, you will find a way how to protect yourself because you did nothing wrong. So that's it. Yeah, we will really get the Ronnie and the rest of them. This is too long. It's 2 hours now, nearly, and we have work to do. I would be asking Kevin uh, to give us a little bit of a random and very spontaneous conclusion on everything what I said, to say maybe how he feels, because I even haven't talked to him how I'm talking now in this podcast. And see, farmer, the farmer used to be the guy who was borrowing me $100 every 2 weeks so I can survive with my 5-member family during 2018 and 2019 when the workers were late or when I had to wait for the payout or whatever. So a user of BitShares, a supporter of BitShares who is living in Canada, was helping the worker in BitShares with $100 or $200 for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so I can fund myself and a few other people next to me, and he is also one of the reasons why I'm still here. People like Farmer, people like I don't want to name them because they are not here and they are not talking. Farmer talks and writes a message, so I mentioned him because it's really important. And he is one of the first people that will get an offer also to move to Thailand, if not to move to Thailand, to be the head of the support for BitShares, as he was always having self-initiative to be most active in the wallet group, to help all the newbies, to help all the lost souls, and to always drive the BitShares in a right and a good direction, regardless how desperate we were at that moment. He's the guy who always put a smile on my face. And he's the guy that I used to, 2017 in December, to explain to Ronnie that when one time Ronnie answered to me, who are you to tell me how I run my business? But first, you don't know how to run the business because you opened a CD DVD shop in the era of MP3 players and you bankrupted yourself. And second, farmer who doesn't know nothing about tech or a business but knows how to plant a seed, grow a seed to become a fruit or a vegetable, to take out the seed, the perfect vegetable, the perfect product, to pack it to be even more perfect, organic, completely, and sell it, knows more about business than Ronnie Boyasing. So yeah, shoot out for farmer, my friend and my savior in the dark times. And that's it. I would like to hear now Kevin just for a conclusion what he thinks about what he heard this tonight here, because he haven't heard. Echo again, Telegram.
Yeah, sure. Thank you again, and you did cover a lot of information, and a lot of that I hadn't heard before. Some specific stories. So I think you did a good job of explaining what some of our objectives are and what the underlying principles of the types of people we want to bring in, and the skills. Some of the people who've done really done the BitShares community, done the technology really good, and it was good to get those guys mentioned. Just to wrap up a little bit, I'm excited to be here and very appreciative of the opportunity, and and the exciting things to come with the BitShares ecosystem.
Thanks, Kevin. For the end, I would like to remind everyone who haven't read. There was an article done by Ross, very nice article, very nice publication, very nice update about the corporate update of BitShares in June 2021. I'm pasting the link into the YouTube chat, live chat, so you can all look it up. There is a list of objectives that company has, and it's very specific objectives that no other company has. And I will read them through for conclusion of this podcast. Company first objective is to purchase, provide, rent, book, have ownership or be in the possession of, improve, use and manage any assets and the interests of those assets. For digital assets and for some other assets, we need to acquire SEC to be licensed for it, but we are already busy with it. Sell, transfer, mortgage, pawn, exchange, and deal assets in other ways. Be an agent, dealer, foreign exchange dealer in any kind of activity and business except insurance business or looking for members for the corporation or trading securities, unless we get the SEC license and we moved into the public sector, which we are also aiming to. So that third objective will already be extended once we are reaching our goals that we have now. Take on loans, overdraft from banks, juristic persons or other financial institutions and lend money or give credit in other ways, having guarantee or not, including receiving, paying, transferring and endorsing bills or negotiable instruments except in banking business, funds business and credit financing. 5. Establish branch offices or assign agents, both domestic and abroad. So we are not limited as a company to Thailand. We are worldwide, international, and we are really serious about it. Come in as a limited partner. This is a special objective because usually limited company cannot acquire public one. Usually public company can acquire another limited one and own just 25% of it as a public company. We found a way how we can own 100% of any company that we want as a limited or a public by having subsidiaries, a lot of them. So come in as a limited partner in a limited partnership, be a shareholder in a limited company and a public company limited objectives in connection with running a service business. So if you want to acquire public company that is in exchange business, we can. If you want to acquire public company that is in IT business, we can. If you want to acquire limited company of any type of business, we can. As a limited company, we don't have to wait for the public. 7. Running contractor business for commercial business, commercial buildings, residential buildings, offices, streets, bridges, dams, tunnels, and any other construction work, including every kind of civil work. So we want to be busy with road construction in Thailand, for the building of hospitals, for renovating our own businesses that we acquire, business space, building the hotels and the things that will be under the BitShares brand. This is not just an agenda of moving the money around. This is agenda of building a brand that is maybe bigger in 10 years than Microsoft ever was, because they were also forged. They were not. The Microsoft brand was not built on what they deserve. They were built on what they craft with the money and power they had. 8. Running hotel, restaurant, bar, nightclub activities. 9. Running transport and transfer of goods or passengers, I mentioned it earlier in this podcast, over land, by water, by air, both within the country and between countries, including the service of getting goods of any kind from the harbor by clearing them from customs and organizing them during transport. So that concludes that we can be an airplane company. We can offer air services of flying, of going by sea to Europe with a boat. Maybe we'll acquire a yacht that will have a name BitShares on it. We don't know. We have one we are being offered with one yacht. But the point is that we will be able to do everything as a company, and we are able already now. We just need to hire people who have the licenses to fly with airplane, to do commercial flights, to do the private flights. It's just a matter of our devotion and our funds and limits how much we can do now, because the legal limits are being stripped one by one, personally by me. 10, run, packaging, collect, make, print and publish statistics, agricultural, industrial, commercial, financial, marketing information, including analyzing and accessing the results of running businesses. We can come and do the review of any business, how for the government, that for the private sector. We can do analyze and statistical analytics of any business. That means we can also go into their paperwork and see are they running correct or not. We can work with the banks, we can work with the institutions such as municipalities, such as the public procurement, many things that I personally want to dive into, because we have resources capable of doing so, real resources that are educated, experienced to do so. Number 11 is run legal, accounting, engineering, architectural service activities, including advertising. So news.bitshares.org, bitshares.org and few other websites will start doing a paid advertisement, offering a paid advertisement, paid content, because not just I want it. The bis@bitshares.org email received over 50 requests for paid content or advertisement or some of those domains. To be able to do so, we need to be a regular business. You cannot just advertise and sell space on a website that someone owns and takes responsibility for if you not have a registered company for doing so. Like George Bitspark said publicly on GitHub, that owner of the domain has no responsibility what is being run on the domain. That idiot you gave money. That much I can say. 12, run guaranteeing for debts and responsibility services enacting according to an agreement of others. Service including rendering guarantor services for persons who came traveling into or traveling out of the country according to the acts about immigration, taxes and other acts. So we as a company are now sending the invitation letter to Kevin, to Ross, to anyone else who wants to come to Thailand. We are handling their visas and request for visas, work permits. We are handling their taxes, how corporate that personal income taxes. And we don't need, again, nobody else outside and no other company to maybe hide $1 or $1 or 1 cent or 1 satang from government and make us lose everything. We have internal lawyer that is hired in Thailand, in BTSMG Group. We have Mov Institute that I trust the most, that is having a team of lawyers and legal representatives to check what we are doing. We have internal accountant that will be doing everything, and I'm personally very, very skilled with accounting. So I will be personally checking everything, what's going on and what's happening, when it's happening and while it's happening. Number 13, run service business as a consultant, give advice about problems in managing commercial industrial work, including problems in production, marketing, or distribution of goods. So we can be advisor for the logistics, we can be advisors for the marketing, we can be for factories even, that's called production. we plan to implement BitShares everywhere, and to be able to do so, we have to hit the corporate conglomerates. We have to hit the most interactive uh, parts of the industry. That's marketing activities, and we have to go there because there is so much corruption there that I'm eager to clean up everywhere, not just Thailand. Run service business or being manager, that's number 14, and caretaker of interest, yield the benefits and manage the assets of other persons. That's the point and objective that is related to case with Ronnie. Move Institute will legally put him on court. Move Institute will claim the assets, BitShares Management Group will manage the assets, and that's how we are managing the assets to StateBot. We can manage your digital assets. So we are registered for it. We are not just a company that is having one objective registered, and that's called like advisory. But we are doing money remittance and we are doing the exchange in public. That's not us. We invested quite a lot of time, brain, and money to be fully legit. Run activities of private hospitals and nursing facilities, treat patients and ill people. What happened to my wife this year is really disgusting. She was brainwashed and drugged by a clinic and a resort where I was paying the bill thinking that she's having a recovery. So that will never happen again to any other person. Do I know it or not know it, it's not important, but we will be busy with cleaning up the stuff and being involved in these areas as well, especially during COVID where people cannot find a free bed and are being poisoned and left alone if they have cancer and not COVID. They are being mismanaged if they have a bronchitis or a heart attack because of COVID. And there are people who have COVID but they cannot afford the medication or the private hospital for a bed. And we plan to significant part of the funds that from the repurchase and from the profits of the BitShares management company put not into just giveaway or donations or investments, but ourselves to build better places for people where they can really get help. 16, run activities of making movies, distributing them, movie theaters or other amusement halls, resorts, swimming pools, bowling alleys. I don't have to explain more. 17, run repair, maintenance, inspection, greasing and rust proofing every kind of vehicles, running services including installation, inspection, equipment fixing and calamity prevention services of all kinds. For example, I will give you an example in Thailand. BMW German Auto is the official BMW distributor and seller in Thailand who doesn't have permission to do service. And if you go to service at the BMW, you will wait your car 3 months. You will pay $4,000 bill for a 12-year-old car, and you will get car more broken than when you place it inside. And you cannot put them to court because they are BMW in Thailand. You cannot claim your money back and you cannot get the damage because you got the invoice, you paid what you want. So knowing people in Germany, Serbia, and around the world who are really experts and technicians, some of them even certified as a BMW service. People will be coming to Thailand and we will be starting the different kind of services as a competitive services, and maybe even we close that German Auto, but that I will not talk much until it happens. Definitely I plan to manage all of our assets by ourselves, maintain, service, improve, redo, and how for us, that for others who are interested, especially that we are busy with very unique and very special vehicles, buildings, properties, and we don't want people that we don't know or don't trust working on them. Operate laundry, hair cutting, hair dressing, and beauty care activities. That's not really our interest and we will not be busy there, but currently Thailand is selling all the businesses that are hair salons, massage parlors, and similar under the very low price due to COVID to, guess what, China. So we'll be busy buying those as well, purchasing, acquiring to sell China on a little bit higher price because we can wait. We are patient and we are not desperate, and we want Thai people to continue to be free, not to be centralized by another country that is not even Thailand. 18, 19, performed photographing, film, developing, print, and enlarging services, including documents. That's not much important for you, but for us is, because if you want to copy some official document, certified document, we have to go to someone else. That someone else can maybe lose the document, maybe take the copy that we don't want him to keep, and things like that. So we have to be able to do that by ourselves and to provide a valid copy of the document to someone else. Run massage parlor activities already mentioned. 21 run auctioning activities for hiring people to make goods according to all the objectives for persons, groups of persons, juristic persons, government instances, and government organizations. We can do public tenders, not just NFT auctions. So if you think that we are selling that sculpture and we'll be starting auction in some dodgy way on the blockchain like everybody else did, we will not. We aren't. We are starting the NFTs like nobody else did, on a technology that nobody else have and that nobody else can compete with. 22, perform activities, purchase, book, rental, have ownership of assets and real estate for auction and trading. So we can make a deal with the bank that everything that is broken as a debt comes into our possession, and we'll do public auction for it, and we can draft from the objective 2 some loan from the bank instantly and purchase it without even having money. So there is that as well. 23, the last, perform activities as the agent, broker, trade all kinds of real estate. We don't have limits when it comes to real estate, and the next step, as soon as we get SEC approval, will be rate. Rate means the same like the rate is very special way of doing the real estate investments, managing those investments, and making the purchases and renovations and furthermore investments without having an investor or his word or say while you are doing so. So rate comes as a similar to any other regular fund management or investment management, hedge fund management, but it's strictly related to the real estate, as we don't want to be busy with hedge funds. And that will be it. In Cambodia, BitShares Enterprises was open with one really important notice that the company was registered, and you can check that on their website for registration of corporations. Main objective is money changing services. Business objective is other financial service activities except insurance and pension funding activities. So we plan to build a digital bank in Cambodia. That will take time, that will take money, but we do have a plan and we are really going for it. Otherwise, you will not be paying $20,000 for a bank account and a company registration in Cambodia. The bank account is open, tax was issued. Now we are busy changing the owner to be Ratchapon, who is the owner of the BTSMG group. We are bringing everything to our own roof, to people that we trust and that we know that will do the job until the end. Ratchapon will be in some of other podcasts, you will meet him as well. But for now, that's it. Conclusion is that all the progress and updates so far in 2021 are slow, were delayed, such as NFT from April until August, that's not a little bit. But we honestly had the life and death situation here with the company, and for a moment we lost everything and we acquired everything back, and that was not easy, and that's a big shout out to Ratchapon youth, Kevin and few others, a bit more included, Ross included, and that's it. After all of what I said, I believe there is no any more questions. Um, for the last question of Modi, yes, yes, but we are not advertising until we finish the product that needs to be advertised. So BTS as a token being advertised is the stupid thing, because people will come and say, okay, where I can buy, and then you send him to Binance. That will not happen. So when the DBTS is launched, we will do a heavy marketing, serious marketing. There is a negotiation with 3 different agencies, with Soulja Boy and other celebrities, including the very big billboards in the US, such EOS used the Block One in the past, will be advertising BitShares products, not BitShares as a token. And those BitShares products will be legally backed by for-profit, non-profit, or series of subsidiaries under the for-profit of BTSMG. And yes, advertisement will start before New Year this year for most of the things. Only thing that will be heavily advertised will be that will be the NFTs. So the launch of NFTs will be advertised immediately. The auction that will happen will be advertised not not just Thailand, not just Europe, not just US, but we will put significant amount of money and strategic planning with serious advertising agencies to make people know about BitShares, NFTs, and why they are different and much more special than any other NFTs in the market. Last but not least, I'm not giving up and I'm not stopping. I can lose everything and I will not fall down and die. And when I say lose everything, I'm not meaning cash or money. I'm meaning life, family, health, whatever. There is no technology like BitShares. There is no people and developers like we have in BitShares. There is no human available anymore that can compete with humanity in BitShares, such the humanity that I mentioned about Farmer, about Ross, about David Moore, about Kevin, even who was not on that time in BitShares. But those are the real humans that world needs. And this is the technology that the world cannot ignore. Not the governments, not the businesses, not the banks, not the whoever. They cannot reinvent it. Daniel Larimer was not the one who finished it, completed it, and you can check the BCIPs on GitHub for it. Just look who did all the deployment and who was on every BCIP from number 2 until number 86. I don't see former DL. I don't see even this DL myself, but I see a bit more on each and every Fabian Schuch, on each and every, nearly each and every. So we are into some serious stuff that is not familiar to crypto people. I understand that, but any other corporate experienced person that comes and checks our business plan, our company standing, our investments, our funds management, they will understand what we are doing, and they do understand. So as I said, we have support from capital.com, currency.com. I'm off to scheduling a meeting with the Circle. We are getting offers from the prestigious advertising agencies now, which we never had before. I do plan also to offer to one of the very old people, not old, he's not old, but he's a long time in BitShares, nearly since inception. And many of you don't like it. Same like you haven't liked David. Michael Taggart will be offered to move to Thailand as well. why his marketing skills and his qualities that he possess, and that many of you don't know and don't see, and I do know, and I seen them already. Just need a proper education and information about what BitShares is, navigation of what needs to be done, because he never had any technical education from the BitShares developers itself. He never had a one-on-one beer with someone who will educate him on what can be said in public, what cannot be said in public about BitShares. Many things that you guys don't know were happening behind the scenes, and you only thought the worst about everyone, while you thought the best about the ones that stole everything from you. So trust me, I'm right even about this. I do have plans to invite a lot of people to sit and work for at least limited period of time. Uh, I will do my best to make the BitShares the greatest, and I have time until March 2023 to prove that, or this is all for nothing. So why March 2023, I will explain one time in the future, but that's the due date for us to be something in real life before we get vaporized by someone else that is not so into it. Now, Kevin, or if you have any more questions, please ask. If not, Kevin can say a few words about what he heard now as well, because a lot of this he never heard. He has a strict, he was limited with information, as I'm not talking this in public on a daily basis, and I started these podcast, this is the first one, 9 days late again, but I've started this to bring you the truth. From tomorrow we'll be really having 30 to 45 minutes, 9 p.m. my time, 10 p.m. Beijing time, regular updates from my book. So what happens on a day in BitShares, and what are to-dos and what are the costs, that will be the update. You want to ask question, you ask. You don't want to ask question, that's it. I finish the podcast and I move on. Monday to Friday, you will be up to date with everything what's going on in for-profit, crypto, non-profit, real life, from your imagination friends or whoever you have in the head. They can all ask the questions, and we will be answering to everyone everything what we have. So Kevin, if you have even to ask something or to share, please do, and we are off.
Yeah, I don't have any questions specifically for you at this point. It was good to hear a complete update, beginning to end, and it's been I guess watched you work over the last few years, and I know your intentions are aligned with doing something positive and great, and between all of us, we have the experience and now assembling the people to get it all done. I think it's I think that's basically a summary of what we're trying to say in this call. And I know we've been going a little while here now, so
Two and a half
I'll keep it
hours.
short.
That's it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Probably
trained
go
them.
before we lose somebody more. Yeah.
No. They will be busy watching this offline, and they will be busy watching us every day. I plan to make this even in one point with other people than me. It's called This is Bitches with DL because I have the all information that nobody else has. But over time, Kevin, Ross, Ratchapon, all of them will be joining or even having this podcast by themselves. Twitter will be more active, Hive will be more active, and we will not be spending so much time to talk because we don't have the time to talk. But I owe to everyone an update.
I agree. Yeah. And we'll have dive-ins, or what do you call it? In more in depth on more narrow topics when the time comes.
One
guess
more
it's all
thing
good.
that is
Yeah,
super
yeah.
important. Turkey, Turkish, Swahili, Serbian, uh, and Chinese, possibly German, but I'm still not having confirmation about it. Lundio is one of the community members that needs to verify that. Will be available on all BitShares products, websites, and current content will be translated into it, including Thai. So one of the person that we are hiring now will take over the web development from me. He's internal here in Thailand, Thai person, good English, not fluent. He'll be doing the Thai to English translation. He actually was applying for the Thai translator from English to Thai, Thai to English, certified one. But when I seen his CV, I said, no, you have to be more than that, and he accepted. Another woman that we are trying to acquire now, also Thai nationality, locally here, is MBA in banking finance, and she has a certification of business Chinese, corporate Chinese. So she will be busy with turning support and all those websites into something that China also needs to see, and it haven't seen it the right way. It's seen it the way that our holders want it. So it's very important that we maintain a good relationship with China, with real China, not with China that we see on blockchain. And it's very important that we really become and maintain that multinational, international type of a hype and business, because
I agree. I agree.
not
100%.
everybody in the world
Yeah.
are English native, and not everybody wants to be busy with English. And not everybody, especially not the end user, will be busy with reading English if he's Bulgarian, Slovenian, German, or whatever.
Hmm.
Serbia is also next company that will be open. I have to go off to the call with a guy, also my dear friend, who will be responsible there to create a subsidiary BitShares Tech Solutions that abbreviates to BTS. And yes, we'll be offering official development by our developers even to the forks, but we will be carefully picking to who and for what money we are working for. Why it's better that we deliver as a BitShares team quality work and get a good name out there, even with a fork that can become competitive one day but cannot, because nobody can do what we did. And instead of having Rostislav or a bunch of people like him presenting themselves as the BitShares developers or Dima Rudex, whoever, by delivering nonsense and crappy code and something that is not really a BitShares quality, using the BitShares tech. So there is that. We cannot stop the forks. We are an open source project. We are permissionless, but we can manage the quality of those forks, and that's the important part. And Kevin will be personally responsible for that because he's the managing director. Ross, operations manager as well.
Okay.
So guys, if that would be it, I, I drained Kevin. I promised him 30, 45 minutes. He's now 4 hours busy with me. That's it. That's me.
Quite all
Deal.
right. Quite all right.
We will be seeing you tomorrow. No, I will at least. For Kevin, I don't know. He needs to pack his stuff and move pretty soon. And we can talk tomorrow, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Beijing time, 9 a.m. in the US coast, about
Okay.
4, 5 p.m. Europe. So everybody will be available for that small podcast Monday to Friday, and that's it. And I'll be not be exploited anymore. This was just an advertisement for the enemies. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning, whatever time zone you are in. Enjoy your lunch, dinner, wives, husbands,
Great.
and stay around BitShares. That's the important part.
Thank. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin, for
Thanks
having
for
you
being
here,
here.
and you'll be plenty more time and hours here. So, guys,
All right.
good night and see you tomorrow.